As soon as I saw a trailer for this film, Red, White and Royal Blue, I knew I wanted to record a reaction video for it. For a couple of reasons. Firstly, despite being straight, I am a person who actively seeks out queer media. I'm a lifelong ally. This footage is from the end of the British film Pride, and it is a depiction of the 1985 London Pride March. And the reason it's in this film Pride is because that particular march was headed by a group of striking miners who were encouraged to support the gay rights movement because the Gays and Lesbians Support the Miners organisation went to these pit villages and helped out marginalised communities, helping marginalised communities. And it's a big moment that these big burly Welsh miners went on a gay pride parade. Now, my mother tells me that I was actually on this particular march. I've done the maths and I don't think I was on this march in 1985, but I was certainly on gay pride marches when I was very, very small, both me and my brother. And both me and my brother have gay godparents. I know it's a cliche, but it's the literal truth that one of my best friends is gay. I've spent my entire life seeking out queer content in media because it was always drummed into me: representation at any cost, normalisation at any cost, showing healthy, stable, queer relationships is a benefit to everybody. That's what I was raised to believe, and it's what I still believe. So I actively seek out queer content and want to promote it as far as I can in whatever small audience I have. And the other reason I wanted to do a reaction to this particular film is because it looks cheesy as fuck. It looks very, very much like a Hallmark-style romance with fabulous princes falling in love with ordinary-ish Americans, albeit he's the son of the president. But having this kind of Hallmark-esque approach and having it be part of the British royal family. Now, as you can probably tell from my accent, I'm English, so I am sure that there are going to be some things made in this book written by the American author Casey McQuiston which they got wrong. So, yes, as an English person, I think possibly I can point out things that, that wouldn't happen in England, whatever. And it's also got an interesting cast. Nicholas Galitzine is apparently going to be in the film Bottoms, out soon, which that is another film I am definitely going to do a reaction video to. The other star is Taylor Zachar Perez, who I've never heard of. The American president is being played by Uma Thurman, which is cool. The English king is being played by Stephen Fry. National treasure Stephen Fry. So that's something to look out for. I've also noticed Sarah Shahi is in the cast list, and she's an actress I really, really like. I'm fond of her from her long-running TV shows Life, Fairly Legal, and Person of Interest. And I've seen her in other things. She was in Black Adam, for example. I've long been an admirer of Sarah Shahi, so yeah, seeing her in the trailer and seeing how cheesy this potentially could be is rather interesting. So yes, possibly this film of the son of the American president falling in love with an English prince is going to be cheesy and all that kind of stuff. But let's see, and let's at least give it a chance. But yes, this is going to be interesting, and without further ado, let's get on to my reaction to Red, White and Royal Blue. So, During the recording of the reaction you're about to watch, my camera ran out of battery. Which shouldn't have happened because it was plugged in and charging at the time. But I guess it was using more energy than it was receiving. And about 3/4 of the way through this reaction, my camera stopped working, it went off. So I put a new battery in, paused the video, did all the stuff and thought, okay, there's probably going to be some interruption, but it's going to be there. But when I checked after I'd finished recording the reaction, about 15 minutes or so of the video had just completely gone. Fortunately, the way I record, I always have a secondary audio stream going, and the audio of everything was recorded. It's just for about 15 minutes or so of real time in the reaction, there wasn't any pictures. And since it's only about 15 minutes, I'm going to fudge it and just use the audio I do have recorded and fudge the visuals. I don't know how long that's going to be in the actual video you're watching because I haven't done the edit yet, but for about 15 minutes or so of real time, there wasn't any video recording. So there are some technical issues with this reaction video, but I hope, and in my opinion, there's enough of my reaction to make this worth watching, but sorry, there were issues. And with that caveat in place, on with the reaction.
Prince Henry, known affectionately as Prince of England's Hearts, and their younger sister, Princess Beatrice, whom all the world adores. The weading reception
Princess Beatrice, who all the world adores.
Guests,
yeah, I don't think
Alex
many people
Diaz, the
admire the real
son of
Princess
American
Beatrice.
president.
It's the whole Prince Henry comparison thing.
Oh, he doesn't like being compared. I mean, I suppose that's natural for somebody in his position.
Attending fancy events like this.
He's. I mean, you've got the royalty on one hand and the presidency on the other.
I used the wrong fork at dinner. They're just.
Yeah, this is an issue that British people have as well as Americans. All this etiquette and high society stuff. We're not born to this. It doesn't come naturally to us.
He's the world's rudest person.
He's the world's most irritating person.
Also, I swear that he is never.
Oh, these two will never fall in love, will they? Everybody
I have heard
hating
so
each
much
other.
about you. You're sticking with me tonight. Come on.
How's it going?
Well, that's one way of dealing with it. Yes, be every cliche about a boorish American ever.
Henry! What's up?
That is an absurd cake.
Alex?
It'll be fine.
Oh! Yeah, I'm sure there's people on the internet who would pay a great deal of money to have that done to them or to see that done to other people, but in this particular situation, that's messy in more ways than one. Oh, Joan Jett, of course. Joan Jett rocks. And I'll tell you what, if you've never seen the film The Runaways, which was about Joan Jett's first band, The Runaways, if you don't believe that Kristen Stewart is a great actress, Kristen Stewart playing Joan Jett, really good stuff. And who doesn't love Bad Reputation by Joan Jett?
We have spent the last 3 years negotiating a new trade deal with His Majesty's government.
Thousands of hours, gallons of tea.
Before this weekend, I had a higher approval rating
Because,
than
of
the
course,
Prime
it's tea.
Minister.
And yeah, spending 3 years on
I
a
was
trade
out
deal.
bowling this
I wonder
past
if
girl.
Brexit was
And
involved in that one.
overnight, you've managed to undo all that.
I'm really sorry, Mom.
I know you are, baby. That's why I need you to fix it.
Is it just me, or would Uma Thurman make an awesome president? And there goes Sarah Shahi.
You're flying back to London tonight
What? Why?
to undo all the damage you've done. And you are going there to work. No hookups, no partying. You can hate Prince Henry all you want, but the minute you see a camera, you better act like the sun shines out of his ass and you have a vitamin D deficiency.
No.
And there is no...
That's a good line.
Oh, yeah? What if I set myself...
I mean, everybody says the sun shines out of his ass, but vitamin D deficiency, that pushes it over the top.
Can you two scooch in a little closer together?
Absolutely everything stage managed, but I mean, I suppose both of them, given their lives, that's
Now, you've
That's
been mates since you met
usual
at the Melbourne
things.
Climate Conference several years back.
What 3 words would I use to describe Henry? White, blonde, and British.
One thing I most admire about Alex is his willingness to admit when he's wrong. Wonderful trait to have.
You don't know this, but Henry does the best freestyle raps.
Do a little no, that's not right.
just
He wants to hear
fucking
it.
each
Remember
other
the one he
over.
was just like,
How on earth did you end up on the floor in
Buckingham Palace.
covered in cake?
Actually, it happens more often than you think in the palace.
Okay.
In Victoria,
Is
they were having
somebody a
food fights all
sploshie?
the time.
Vicky. Classic.
Stay down.
Well, that's one way of getting on the floor on top of each other.
Are you seriously telling me that one meeting years ago in which, yes, I admittedly acted ungenerously towards you, has occupied such a vast mental and emotional space in your head?
Yeah, but for some people, that's it. I mean, just one moment, and that alters your perception completely. And I bet he's just about to reveal that he just had a bad night, and it wasn't about him at all.
My father had died a few months before, and the
Yep,
palace
there
insisted
goes.
on parading me
Dead
around.
father. It always comes down to daddy issues.
Threat neutralized. Some kid brought fireworks for his friend.
When you say neutralized,
He's already in the hospital.
I love the fact that his Secret Service agent is just this big woman. Yes, I have looked her up, and that is a trans actress. Anish Sheth is her name. So yeah, the Secret Service agent is a trans woman. Cool.
No matter how silly the so-called Cake Gate controversy
Rachel Maddow.
it is very silly.
That's an interesting emoji. Spy, was that Spy Kids? HOH Prince Dickhead, nice.
I hate the tie you're wearing in Vogue. It's so boring. What do you have against color anyway?
Grey is a colour, thank you.
Okay, this is nice. You're actually having them manifest next to each other as they're texting each other.
Is this your idea of a prank?
That's quite cool.
is full of thongs.
Good God, man. What have you done?
So, there's this American tradition where the president pardons a turkey before Thanksgiving.
I don't understand. Don't you have to commit a crime to be pardoned?
Don't look too closely at it. Why are you awake?
Because some bellend decided to call me at 3 a.m. to talk turkey.
What's a bellend?
Look it up.
Don't look it up.
World-class insomniac.
You're more of a human than I thought.
Wow, thank you, Alex. That is so
This
fun.
is actually quite
I just
cute, just
don't seem like the kind of
talking
person that
to
would
each
name a
other
dog
and,
David.
and
Like named
being
after
in
Bowie.
bed together, but actually being
seriously?
different sides of the
That's way cooler.
Atlantic.
Why not just call him Bowie then?
I'm hanging up now.
No, I'm hanging up on you.
Fine. Have it your way.
Okay. We've reached the stage where you hang up, no you hang up, no you hang up. How many times have we seen a similar thing?
Good night.
Okay, I'll give them cute back there. Oh Jesus! I forgot about the turkey.
Did anyone ask you to write this memo?
No, I took the initiative.
Yeah. If there's one thing people on campaigns hate, it's when the candidate's family takes initiative.
Zara, there are good ideas in here. I really want to help.
Maybe there will be.
help.
Actually, just
You are
read it.
genuinely useful.
Yeah, for like photo ops and New Year's parties and stupid shit like that.
I mean, but the thing is, there is such a poor record of family members of the president actually being useful. I mean, look at Trump's family. Look at Jimmy Carter's brother. I mean,
People like him more than they like you.
Well, they wouldn't if they knew him.
Later.
yeah, he doesn't believe that anymore. I think he actually genuinely likes it. That's actually pretty cool, putting up a little pavilion and in the White House garden.
I would love to procure for you the most lavish treat in this establishment.
Well, it is an open bar and a free-ish country, so only the Secret Service can stop you.
Flirt away, little sidekicks.
I haven't drunk since Christmas.
Yeah, he's got the jealous eyes now. There's actually they're actually getting on, but I don't think either are fully willing to admit that yet. Could he look any more English?
Did he say till the sweat drops down my balls?
He is so completely out of his element. That is a very cool shot. Everybody getting low and the two of them just stand. That is a very impressive shot. From a first-time film director. He's a theatre guy.
10 seconds to midnight, everyone!
And are they going to kiss each other at midnight? Are they going to die? Nope. Oh, the one person who wanted to kiss.
Certainly date more.
Yeah, because it's so hard for a prince to get a date.
People
Yeah,
I date don't interest
it's
me.
hard
People who
for
interest
gay
me,
Brent.
I can't
Yeah,
date.
right.
Oh my god, Henry, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Christ, you're as thick as it gets.
Yep, and there we go. On one level, that was kind of sexual assault, but we're going to go with it. You ask permission before you do something like that, maybe, but it's such a romantic comedy cliche to just do that kind of stuff, and not sure you can get away with that anymore, but we're just going to go with it.
Henry kind of kissed me?
I totally, privately called that.
Oh, shut up, Nora. You did not.
Hey, it's my job to analyze data, and he has never once checked me out, and I am what some men would consider exquisite, so from where I'm sitting, Henry is
Kind of gay?
more like the first 50 rows of a Gaga concert kind of gay.
That's a good line.
Grabbed my hair in a way that made me understand the difference between rugby and football.
What?
I'm gonna take that as a yes.
That makes no fucking
unpleasant.
sense.
Just surprising.
I mean, you've been wanting him to dick you down forever.
Well, the best friend can be as blunt as that.
And he kissed you, and you liked it.
I kissed a girl and I liked it.
So, Objectively, what do you think that means?
So is he even out to himself? I mean, you seem to be flirting with that Hispanic guy in the,
I can wrap my head
coffee bar.
around being low level into guys, but what I'm really confused about is being into
Oh, okay, so he's bi.
How many
Right.
guys have you been with? Whoa.
Oh! Exactly interrupting at the wrong point. Yeah, she's going straight to TMZ.
2. Once in high school, and once with Miguel Ramos.
Okay, so 2 guys in a lifetime. So by trending women.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States and the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom.
Both of whom are women. One is black. Oh, but if we had a black female prime minister right now, that would probably mean Kebby Badenoch, and that's not good. She's horrific. Because of her politics, not because of anything else.
And I want to speak about a dangerous trend in race relations that has come far too close to home to my life, and it is the promotion of critical race theory, an ideology that sees my blackness as victimhood and their whiteness as oppression. I want to be absolutely clear, this government stands unequivocally against critical race theory. Some schools have decided to openly support the anti-capitalist Black Lives Matter group, often fully aware that they have a statutory duty to be politically impartial. Black lives do matter, of course they do. But we know that the Black Lives Matter movement, capital BLM, is political. I know this because at the height of the protest, I've been told of white Black Lives Matter protesters calling, and I'm afraid I apologize for saying this word, calling a black armed police officer guarding Downing Street a pet. That is why we do not endorse that movement on this side of the House. It is a political movement, and what would be nice would be for members on the opposite side to condemn many of the actions that we see this political movement, instead of pretending that it is a completely wholesome anti-racist organization. There is a lot of pernicious stuff that is being pushed, and we stand against that. We do not want to see teachers teaching their white pupils about white privilege and inherited racial guilt. And let me be clear, any school which teaches these elements of critical race theory as fact, or which promotes partisan political views such as defunding the police without offering a balanced treatment of opposing views, is breaking the law.
Alright, so this is one of the 2 men he's actually
There we go.
slept with.
I read your Texas campaign memo.
Been intimate with.
That was super confidential.
The campaign putting your memo into action? Because they should.
He's no longer paying attention to you.
Birth to Alex?
Oh my
Yeah,
god, his
we're,
cheekbones.
gonna flip Texas.
Yeah.
Good to see you, Miguel.
And he didn't say off the record. Oh shit.
Where's the threat? Do we need to clear the room?
What?
Is she being serious or is she messing with him? Probably the former.
I know. I owe you an explanation. My behavior was appalling.
Shut up. Stop talking.
Wait a minute.
Get in! But don't make too much noise, and that's probably incredibly expensive. The things that a Secret Service agent comes across.
Your Royal Highness?
That was a bit too crude a joke for this, film.
Hi, Ma. Okay, here's what we're gonna do.
Yes, tell me.
You're gonna stay at least 500 feet away from me for the rest of the night.
Sensible plan.
I'm not done.
Of course you're not.
Then at midnight, you're gonna come to my room on the 2nd floor of the residence where I'm going to do some very bad things to you.
Now there's an offer he can't refuse. Okay, we're not cutting away, so let's get some steamy man-on-man action, I guess. What's that key? I get the impression that's possibly going to become relevant at some point.
What's that?
Right, okay, so he's gonna...
The key to my family's house in Austin. I started wearing it when we moved here.
Oh, okay. That's cute and expected, I guess.
I guess you could say I'm bisexual. Yeah. Noted.
Yeah, I think that might be
just to
sort
put it
of
out
coming
there,
out to himself.
I am as gay as a maypole.
Okay. Well, they were fertility rights, so I mean, who can forget the one in the Wicker Man? That's a fucked up thing. That's a fucked up film.
And on that bed there was a girl, and on that girl there was a man, and from that man there was a seed, and from that seed there was a boy, and from that boy there was a man, and for that man there was a grave, and from that grave there grew a tree. And on that bed there was a girl, and on that girl there was a man.
There's this charity polo match in Windsor next month that my mate Percy's foundation organizes.
Yeah. When you're in the royal family, you have a
I thought you
charity
might wanna
polo
be my guest.
match.
Oh. I don't know how to play polo.
Does he even know how
Suppose
to
that
ride a
would be all right,
horse?
seeing as you won't be playing. I will. You'll be watching from the sidelines.
Great. That's probably safer for everyone.
Yeah, agreed.
Actually, growing up in Texas, maybe he does know how to ride a horse. Or actually, no, growing up in Austin. Does he know how to ride a horse? Because, Austin is very, very different from the rest of Texas. There's that brilliant speech from the film Bernie about the 5 states of Texas, which is one of the best pieces of writing. I think it's probably Richard Linklater, or was it Skip Hollandsworth, I think was the co-writer of Bernie. But yeah, the 5 states of Texas is a brilliant little speech.
Carthage is in East Texas, and that's totally different from the rest of Texas, which could be 5 different states, actually. You got your West Texas out there with a bunch of flat ranches. Up north, you got them Dallas snobs with their Mercedes. And then you got the Houston, the carcinogenic coast is what I call it, all the way up to Louisiana. Then down south, San Antonio, that's where the Tex meets the Mex, like the food. And then in Central Texas, you got the People's Republic of Austin, with a bunch of hairy-legged women and liberal fruitcakes. Of course, I left out the Panhandle, and a lot of people do, but Carthage, this is where the South begins. This is life behind the pine curtain. And truth be known, it's a good place.
Do you have a last name?
Actually, I have several. The official family name is Hanover Stewart. My father's son
No, it
is
isn't.
Fox, so my full name is Henry George Edward James Hanover Stewart Fox.
And I thought Alexander Gabriel Claremont Diaz was a mouthful.
Okay, so for the first time, my Englishness comes into being. The official family name of the Royal Family of England is currently Windsor, and that was changed from Saxe-Coburg-Gotha during the First World War, one of the World Wars. It was considered that having a German family name at a time of war with Germany was considered poor form. So the royal family changed their name to Windsor. So officially, the royal family is named Windsor. Hanover Stuart, that's 2 completely separate things. The Stuart dynasty was originally a Scottish dynasty, and when Elizabeth I died, James VI of Scotland came down to be James I of England, and he was the first Stuart king of Great Britain, a united kingdom. And eventually his line died out with Queen Anne from The Favourite, who didn't have any children, as you will see in that film. And because the next sort of like dozen people in line to the throne were Catholics, and at that point we needed to be a Protestant country, the Hanoverian dynasty was invited in to be George I of England, who didn't speak English. As far as I'm aware, he barely spoke any English throughout the rest of his life, and then eventually George II and III, George III being the one who went mad. The Prince Regent came after him, being George IV. And that eventually led into Queen Victoria, who was part of the Hanoverian line. She married Prince Albert of Saxe-Coburg-Gotha, and we've come up to the present day. So, Hanover Stuart, that is not what the royal family is called, but it is two very distinct dynasties from way, way, way back in the history of the United Kingdom. So, yeah, they probably needed some distance from the actual royal family, but there's quite a lot of similarities to the actual royal family. But Hanover Stuart is not a thing, and it never has been a thing, but they needed to make some shit up for this movie. So, yeah, that is my Englishman's history hat being put on for a moment, and now back to the movie.
Grandpa's a cold, hard realist. He sat me down on my 18th birthday and told me not to let any selfish desires I might be harboring reflect poorly on the crown.
That sounds so much like Queen Elizabeth II talking to
my life.
Prince Charles.
Doesn't mean you have to accept it.
Prince Charles never wanted to marry Diana. It was part of the family business, the family firm.
Not here.
You still have to be in the closet. You're a public figure. And any little thing, everything has to be calculated. Everything has to be protected. Everything has to be masked.
I think we should make love tonight.
Oh. I mean, yeah. I'm down.
Okay, so
who says make love anymore? We're gonna like listen to Lana Del Rey when we do it. All right. Who's gonna do what?
Okay, this is an interesting dynamic.
Oh my god, I am so not playing this cool right now. I went to an English boarding school, dear.
I suppose that's one benefit of the class system. And it's kind of a virginity scene or situation.
Or that your family wasn't in politics.
I actually wish I could help more. It's gonna be a tough campaign.
Such an interesting dynamic. He's actually into it. I mean, he's not rebelling against his family. He wants to be more involved with that Texas memo, which I'm sure that journalist is going to leak at some point.
To devote your life to helping others?
You see, he hasn't been born into it yet. He wants a life of service. He has been born, but Prince Henry has been born into a life of service, and he doesn't necessarily want it.
Why aren't you firing up the youth vote, building a grassroots movement? Why aren't you fighting for your home state, Ma?
I am fighting for my administration and for the people
That's
who
exactly
can't
what
afford to have Jeffrey
Barack Obama did
Richards
for the
become
presidency,
president.
and Stacey
I will
Abrams
not
did in
be the
Georgia.
first woman to lose re-election to this office.
Georgia, Georgia, the whole day through. Just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind.
You are no longer allowed to speak to the press. Do you understand me?
Yes,
Yeah.
Madam President.
Sacrificing her child for the sake of politics, and it's what essentially she's doing. I mean, saying, yes, Madam President.
I think you'd really like Austin most, especially. I want to see your mouth covered in barbecue sauce. And then I want to...
Okay, we're back to Sploshies.
Wait, don't they have napkins in Texas?
We're going live to the Democratic National Convention in Brooklyn, New York, where Alex Claremont Diaz is addressing the crowd. Let's listen in.
My mom has inspired me every day of my life. She has passed down to me a faith in America that always...
Okay, that is not the Barclays Centre. That is some really, really bad green screen. It's interesting that they go for the Barclays Centre over the Brooklyn Nets rather than Madison Square Garden. Oh, God, that's some bad CG.
Buenas noches, cabrón. What are you doing here?
Oh, just a bit of skullduggery. Let me help the planet.
We need to get up to my room right now.
And the journalists saw.
Have you ever cooked for yourself?
Once, unsuccessfully.
You ever been on Grindr?
that would be interesting.
Not allowed.
What?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Them's the rules.
What's your favorite movie?
Oh, In the Mood for Love.
I've never seen it.
Interesting choice.
You hook up with some rando the night before your mother's acceptance speech. You don't have her sign an NDA. Of that, I'm certain. And then you let her bring her phone in here.
Don't have her sign an
God knows
NDA.
what to God knows who. Yeah, Alex.
The fact that
really
that's the
chill.
first thought.
Good morning.
That's a curious way to come out of the closet.
Okay. Would it make any difference if I told you not to see him again?
No.
Every time I see you, it takes another year off of my life. All right.
I love Sarah Chai.
You better be dressed and in the lobby in 5 minutes so we can get your mother
Yeah, and I
elected.
bet
And
that
as for
journalist
you, little
Miguel
Lord
was
Fauntleroy,
it.
You get your
Little
ass back to Maryland
Fauntleroy.
right now. I want you chewing on a goddamn crumpet by sunset, and if anyone sees you leave this hotel, I will Brexit your head from your body. You got me?
Loud and clear.
Your Royal Highness.
Got to observe protocol.
What's up?
I think she knows exactly what this conversation's going to
You
be.
look very serious.
I hope she does.
It's relevant to the campaign in a way.
Okay.
Maybe she doesn't know what this conversation is.
I've met someone.
We're gonna need some pizza. So are you
Oh.
fluid, Pam? Quick.
Let Mom and buy.
Oh, all right. Well, you know that being LGBTQ is not a silent letter.
Yes, thank you, Mom.
I mean, if I've had more warning.
I mean, yeah,
than
cuddling up with your mum
presentation, but-
on the sofa that just happens to be in the Oval Office.
Can I give you
with
some
pizza
advice?
and beer.
Yeah, of course.
That looks like Stella.
I don't know if we're there yet, Mom.
But unfortunately, you're in the situation where you kind of need to figure out if you're there. I mean, it's a matter of quite a bit of urgency.
I just want to make sure you know you need to wear a condom if you're having anal intercourse.
Oh my God.
And we can talk about getting you on Truvada, and if you're bottoming, then you need the HPV vaccine, and I can have HHS send over some brochures.
You are ridiculous. I cannot believe they gave you the nuclear code.
Oh, he's actually got skills, even with a volleyball.
Wait till they found out about the karaoke machine.
No, I am definitely not doing karaoke.
Of course he's doing Freddie Mercury. Yeah, he's falling hard. And once again, who wouldn't with those cheekbones? Oh my god, the the man flesh.
I've been thinking.
I seriously doubt that.
Oh, seriously.
I mean, if I was that way inclined, I think this would be a feast for the
how my
eyes.
life is going to be a lot different after the election. We could walk through Austin holding hands, and it won't even matter if anyone sees us.
Yeah, it matters to the English press.
You
Yeah,
need to understand my language
he still thinks he needs to be in the closet, and he kind
I never
of
felt this way
does.
about anyone.
I mean, the Queen did attend a gay marriage. I think it was the Queen's cousin or second cousin or something. A man married a man who was a distant fringe member of the royal family. I think that nowadays it wouldn't be a big deal if a member of the royal family came out, but he's still in the situation where he had that message from his grandfather. You must be part of the family. You must keep the family firm together. Yeah, he can't do it. Didn't even let him get the words out. Duty. Always duty.
I ended things with Alex.
Oh, Hen. I'm so sorry.
No, but he didn't. He just walked. That is not ending it.
Not this time, but I felt myself getting too close, and I didn't want to break his heart.
What about your heart? Have you thought about
Yeah, I
calling
think it's
Mum?
too late to break his
Last I heard
heart.
from Mum, she was off saving elephants in Botswana. It's all so silly, isn't it? The idea of royalty in the 21st century, it's so
Yep.
antiquated.
Republican here, in the sense of not anti-monarchist, not Republican versus Democrat. But we need to spend billions of pounds on the royal family because it encourages tourism.
Do you love him?
What difference would it make if I did?
All the difference in the world. Be who you want to be. If you don't want to kowtow to the demands of duty and responsibility, then don't.
I stormed a fucking castle to look you in the eye and tell you that I love you, knowing that you wouldn't say it back.
I mean,
So
that's kind of
Henry.
literally what he
In fact,
did.
this is costing me everything, and if this is over, I
Which
at least
is
deserve to know why.
kind
For
of-
Christ's sake, Alex, for
kind
once,
of,
I wish you could see me for
literalising the
who I am
metaphor.
and not who you want me to be. So if you want me to go, you have to tell me to leave. Please.
Don't make me.
He really, really doesn't want to do it, but he feels he must do it.
Because I would never
Because
leave
it's
this room
always
if I didn't think
duty.
there was any hope of holding on to the happiness that I have found with you.
Oh. A museum. That kind of looks like the V&A, but I doubt it is.
When I was a boy, my father used to bring me here.
I can't help falling in love with you. Don't think I've heard that cover though.
History, huh?
Is that going to be enough? He's saying
that we could make some.
Probably, but not yet. I mean, that's essentially what he's saying. And is that enough? Guess it's going to have to be. And they end up in bed together, of course they do. But it's not going to last. It can't.
Until you can have all of me again.
Was that his father's?
Now we're even.
And that's definitely meaningful for him. It's probably meaningful for Prince Henry as well. And the Prince of England now has a key to a house in Austin, Texas.
I love you. I'll be as patient as you need.
And still not in public.
An election.
Your emails to Alex have been hacked. They were posted overnight to Reddit. The Mirror and the Sun ran them as well.
Oh, shit.
And now security photos of the two of you at the V&A have been popping up.
Oh, it was the V&A.
How many of our emails?
All of them.
All of them.
Yep.
I'm so sorry, Henry.
That's
I need to call him.
not the ideal way to come out.
Sir.
I'm curious, Miguel. These emails were posted to Reddit at 11:54 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday night, and your first article was posted at 2:30 a.m. Monday morning. How did you have time to read nearly 72 emails, write an article, and publish it all within 2.5 hours?
Very good question.
Not sure what you're getting at.
Are you really that quick, or did you perhaps have advanced knowledge that this leak was going to happen?
Or did you do it yourself?
The truth is, every queer person has the right to come out on their own terms and on their own timeline.
They also have the right to choose not to come out at all.
The forced conformity of the closet cannot be answered with forced conformity in coming out of it. This isn't about shame. This is about
Very good points. I mean, the idea of choosing when to come out or if to come out. I mean, that's a very valid point, and he's making points, and he's making them publicly, making them statements.
I hope Henry was watching. I could feel him watching. He does this thing when he's worried. Furrows his eyebrows.
The triangle of sadness.
Cutest thing.
Can you relax your triangle of sadness? That's like between your eyebrows here.
Oh, okay.
A little bit more. Okay.
God, I miss him.
Oh my God.
Sarah actually is having none of it.
I've got the first
So she's been in touch with
I'm
the
not going to
equerry.
get any work done until you put these two lovesick homosexuals on the phone with one another. I don't care what any of those wrinkled white men at Buckingham Palace have to say about it. I want you to march your skinny,
Get in there, Sarah
ass over to the
Shahi.
prince, hand him your phone, or so help me God, you will never see me naked again.
Oh, okay.
I thought you might see me.
Get in there in more ways than one, Sarah Shahi. And I guess, Sean. Stephen Fry! King of England. He should be King of England. And apparently playing a homophobic character, one of the queer icons of this great nation, or once great nation. And the girl gets sent to the back of the room.
There are a number of unscrupulous governments who routinely concoct wholesale fabrications about prominent people in order to further their own national interests. I wonder, Henry, do you suppose that might explain these unseemly...
So you're forcing your grandson into the closet in the 21st century.
And anything other than maintaining the traditional royal image is out of the question.
Why is it out of the question?
Mr. Claremont Diaz, let me disabuse you of the idea that your contribution to this conversation is in any way welcome. You are part
So
of
why
its
is he
problem,
there?
not to its solution.
You invited him into this meeting and then you ignore
Asking
him. What's the point of that?
Apparently there are crowds forming in Manchester, Sheffield, Birmingham, Cardiff, Edinburgh and Liverpool.
You see?
I will no longer be the prince of shame and of secrets.
This is... I genuinely do
Starting
think this is
today,
what would happen.
the
Although
world
those
will know me
cities,
for who I
odd
am.
choices. I mean, Liverpool,
And not who you
Cardiff,
want me to be.
Birmingham, very, very anti-royalist places.
I love you. I love you more.
There you go.
That's up for debate.
Actually saying the words out loud.
The entire race now hangs on Texas. It's possible
Of
we are
course
just
it does.
minutes away from knowing who the next president of the United States will be.
I wanted to say something like
That's on the right there. That's Casey McQuiston, who wrote the original novel. And apparently has made some very, very unfortunate comments about Taylor Swift, which people are angry about online. I do not care about that stuff, but...
You still haven't noticed my tie. Yellow roses. Thing in Texas, I thought it might bring you some luck.
I personally would have gone with the burnt orange of the University of Texas
so grateful
Longhorns,
you're here.
but anyway.
And your voice is blended tonight with the voices of millions of Americans just like you.
And now the hand holding in a very, very public forum. Although there's still some really, really bad green screen there.
Braver future.
Yeah.
What do we do now?
Run for office!
Do you still have my key on you?
Oh, this is where they came from.
Wow, you really are working class, aren't you? Oh, shut up. You want me to give you a tour of the house? Yes. Lead the way, darling. All right, so I took my first step.
And he was still calling Prince Henry Your Majesty, which at this point I'm pretty sure is deliberate. So the video failure notwithstanding, that was Red, White and Royal Blue. And yes, it was a cheesy romantic comedy, a little bit Hallmark-esque. But I think there are different levels of cheese in this kind of situation. Romantic comedies and this type of romantic film are a formula. They're a very, very particular formula, a very distinct formula. You go there for the formula. You know pretty much exactly what is going to happen, and you go there anyway. It is designed to be unsurprising. It is designed to be recognisable point after recognisable point after recognisable point. Very, very rarely do we have a romantic comedy or a romantic film which breaks the very specific rules of the genre. And Red, White and Royal Blue does not break those cliches. But then the question becomes, how well is it executed? And Red, White and Royal Blue was executed very well. The chemistry between the two leads was palpable, despite the fact that Nicholas Galitzine, the prince, is apparently straight. Okay. But lots of intensity, lots of chemistry. It really, really worked. I really, really believed it. It did have some valid and some powerful things to say about living your true self and living in public, living as a public figure, and that idea of duty being everything, which is a very, very British concept. But it did have all those things in it, and I think it mostly worked. I think the writing was pretty good. One or two excellent lines, mostly coming out of the mouth of Sarah Shahi, who I thought was excellent. But everybody had their moments to shine. I find it really, really interesting that they clearly got Stephen Fry for one day, and he showed up playing the homophobic King of England when Stephen Fry is one of the most vocal LGBTQ plus IA activists out there. That was interesting casting, but I love the fact that the King of England is Stephen Fry and the President of America is Uma Thurman. That was pretty cool. And an American president who came from a very working class background. I mean, it's kind of like The West Wing. It's kind of like Martin Sheen in The West Wing. This is the kind of fictional president that you wish actually had a chance in real life. Let's be honest, somebody with Uma Thurman's background as described in this film would have absolutely zero chance of actually becoming president. But this is the fantasy, isn't it? And it's the fantasy in more ways than one. So, yeah, Red, White and Royal Blue was kind of cheesy, but it was the good kind of cheese. It was well written, well acted, the chemistry was great, and I enjoyed myself. I mean, it's not a masterpiece, it's not going to be in my top 10 films of the year or anything, but Red, White and Royal Blue was a pleasant experience, and in my personal rating system of yay, nay or meh, I'm going to give this a pleasant, heartwarming, pretty high meh. I reserve my yays for really, really impressive films, and this was not that, but it was entertaining, it was fun, so for me this is a really, really high meh. And if you want to hear more of my yay, nay or meh style reviews, you can listen to my audio podcast, which you can find at yaynayormeh.co.uk. And don't blame me for the website, it's pretty shit at the moment, but I just don't have the time that I would need to invest to make the website worthwhile. But the audio podcast is online, you can find it in your podcatcher of choice. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, do all those things if you are so inclined. And that is it for this particular video, and all that remains for me to say is see you next time, where I shine a light on cinema, both obvious and obscure.